praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostle elders which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abba baba. Salakia. Alright, I was listening to the audio book on Hoopla, alright, which is a library in my local area, but they go online and you can listen to books. And I was listening to this book, The Destruction of Jerusalem. And it was a writing of Flavius Josephus, which Flavius Josephus was an Israelite that lived through 70 AD. And he was a historian allowed to write the destruction of Jerusalem from his perspective, being, living during that time. In this book, alright, he spoke about Abraham, and something caught my attention what he said, which was real heavy about faith. Abraham had an army, right? When Lot was kidnapped, the Lord had Abraham with enough men under him, trained by the sword, that he was able to go in there and take back Lot from his captors. Alright? So, Josephus, which was an Israelite that lived during 70 AD, he says in his writing, about Abraham's faith, that even though he had an army of men trained with the sword, which were already battle, tested, he did not use them to try to get his wife Sarah when she was taken by a Hamite king. All right, and Abraham showed his faith by trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And Josephus pointed this out about the faith of Abraham, trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to deliver Sarah back, But we know about Abraham's faith, willing to the point where he was willing to sacrifice his son Isaac. Alright? But I want to get this, Hebrews 11, verse 8, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. So he was moved by the Spirit, and he went in faith. By faith he sojourned, he traveled in the land of promise, as in a strange country, and he suffered different things. Alright? But the Lord delivered him out of them all. Dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Right? So if we have the same promise, we have the same promise of faith. Alright? So the Lord gave us enough strength to go on with whatever we have to suffer, even if it meant losing our wife, our child, right? We're like Abraham, we're willing to sacrifice it all for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ha Rakah Kodash. But just like Abraham, we're hoping for the same favor, which the Lord delivered him from having to sacrifice his son Isaac. He delivered his wife back to him, and even brought great wealth through his wife, right? Because the king that took Abraham's wife Sarah he was fearful because the Lord visited him in a dream, and he made Abraham a very rich man, for taking Sarah, his sister, which became his wife. All right? It says, for he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai. Right? What did John the Baptist do, which is Abraham? Right? Same thing. He started with the cornerstone, Yahushai, which off of Yahushai you got the 12 apostles, which today you got the great millstone, head apostles, elders, bishops, prophets, teachers doing the same ministry as Abraham, as John the Baptist, as Abba Bivens. All right? So the Lord has all the elect men in their lot doing the same thing that they've done in the past, showing our faith through our words and through our actions. It says, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age. She was she was like 100 years old, but she was still good looking, to the point where a heathen king took her from Abraham. It says, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Promised what? That she would have a son in her old age. She believed. And there's women that have faith that are going to be joined to men of faith, just like Sarah and Abraham. Alright? And Sarah, her name means princess. And that's what the women will be that are married to the elect men. They will be princesses. There's no such thing as a queen in our kingdom. The word queen means whore. Alright? And whores are not allowed in our kingdom. It says, therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth, which we're going to be made pilgrims on the earth in Jacob's trouble. Alright? It tells you that in 2nd Ezra, to be as pilgrims. It says here in 2nd Ezra 16 verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Alright? So the reason why we're going to be pilgrims on the earth is because we're persecuted for not submitting to the devil, the so-called white race, and accepting their implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, which their elite is going to make mandatory for buying and selling. So even if we have to travel, and be like pilgrims, we know that we have a forefather that did the same, Abraham. And And the Lord delivered him through all his trials and tribulations, and he even brought his wife back to him and increased him many times over. He didn't have to raise a sword to get his wife back. He raised his hands towards the east and prayed towards the holy land that the Lord has given us in promise. All right, the Lord, he hears our prayers, and that's why all these things are happening, because Yahushua, the mediator, he's praying for his bride. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Bahasham Ha-Rakakodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom.